Wolf Pact, Wolf Pact.
Try and build an island, tell me why you think we wildin'.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host with the most, the best from the Midwest, your not-so-local supervillain, your global icon and national treasure, Starks, a.k.a. Hollywood Starks Hogan, a.k.a. Go Grab the Bill, a.k.a. Big Sexy, a.k.a. Big Chowder, a.k.a. Did the PayPal clear yet? And I welcome you to the predictions and suggestions segment and portion of the Fake Wolf Pact Podcast. Yeah. So let's get things underway. First things first, let's talk about some predictions for Raw. I'm thinking Lashley versus Finn. Whatever. We're kind of tired of the feud, but now there's a belt involved. So why not have this build up until Elimination Chamber and we finally put some more gold on Finn? I think this would be a good way to show Lashley as a champion, and it also gives a good way for Finn to elevate himself and give his fans that are actually wanting and waiting for him what they're yearning for. So I definitely would like to see that happen. That's my prediction and suggestion on that manner. I think it would be a dope match, but I think some matches leading up to it should be Finn versus Lio Rush. Both of those guys, both of those competitors, I can tell you right now it's going to be a phenomenal 5-star match. Frankly, I think we should get that several times, maybe 2 times, and I think we can get it 2 or 3 times before Elimination Chamber. But nonetheless, we at least get that match 2 times before Elimination Chamber. That establishes Lio Rush on Raw, and it showcases him more. I think he's only had 1 match on Raw, but with the caliber of Finn Balor, and it still brings back some credibility to him, it elevates everyone. It steps everyone up to the next level. It's going to be good for Finn to hold that belt. It will just feed the people because, honestly, I feel that with everything going on, he's been getting the short end of the stick. But when I'm reading on the internet from other people, more marks, all they're saying is, damn, what's going on with Finn? Why is he not in the picture? I think that would be pretty dope if we got that. I would love to see Finn hold down the Intercontinental title for a hot second. I think he can have really good matches with EC3, really good matches with Apollo Crews, really good matches with Tyler Breeze. I think all those guys could have a awesome feud with Finn leading up to Fastlane. Or more so, if we take it a step further, you got this Finn EC3 feud, or Finn Tyler Breeze feud, or Finn and anybody, or Finn and all those guys feud, and we keep that going all the way until WrestleMania. That's a barn burner of a fucking match right there. Finn, Tyler Breeze, EC3, 3-way fucking match for the gold. I don't know, man. I think that's a banger. Some more Raw stuff. The Raw Women's title. I think this is the big one where everybody wants you to really talk about. I know everybody wants to see the 4 horsewomen and them get together and just run stuff, but technically, haven't they already been doing that? Have we not already had reigns from Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky? That's a thing. So we've already got them in the title picture beforehand. I think to use them to get other people over would be a smarter choice. So if we're going to keep putting Rhonda in these situations to be undefeated and over the top and be just this fucking Goliath and behemoth, I think we can do that with Tamina. I think we can do that with a lot of different people, and we don't have to desecrate how people view Becky or just the original four horsewomen. So I think there's more people on Raw for Rhonda to have feuds with or just do different things. I think that the fact that Rhonda hasn't been beaten on any levels is very, very unrealistic. I'm pretty sure that they're doing that so that she can have a remarkable record on this, as with the MMA, she just left on such a bitter note. She left at the bottom. I don't think that she would leave like that here. And if when it does happen, I think she's going to leave on top. That is just my crazy hot take for right now. I would love for someone else to pick up that belt and just to do more with it and incorporate Rhonda in another storyline, or make her cross over from Raw into SmackDown and go forth and get these other people. There are predictions that Rhonda's going to leave after WrestleMania. So if we get Becky versus Rhonda, you know, that is probably one of the best things that we could get. So it'd be cool to see that, and that to feed and suffice the streets. I'm really, really looking forward to WrestleMania for that particular match. I just know the upcoming months before then, you got the Elimination Chamber for the tag teams women's belts, and anybody who's not in there, and Ember Moon is injured, I think she would have been the next one in line to face Rhonda after Bayley just had that random match. I kind of hate how they do that. You don't get enough time to set up and prep for these matches, and you just blow through them that quickly because you're not going to allow Rhonda to win. You're not going to allow Rhonda to be beaten. So they just expedite themselves through all that whole process. You know, whatever. I just wish that more was going on and they used more of the women wrestlers that they had. Hell, what the fuck is Lacey Evans doing? What is Nikki Cross doing? Incorporate them in some of these Raw women storylines. I think besides what's going on with the Women Elimination Chamber match for the tag team's belt, I think that you should do another Women's Elimination Chamber match for number one contendership. Both sides. There's a lot of people caught in the crossfires there. And I know that you only have 2 pay-per-views before WrestleMania. And I think that with the build and everything going up to it, you could still get a lot of different people in there and do a lot of different crazy things. It's just, you know, applying it. Alexa Bliss is currently not with the tag team right now. Natalya is not with the tag team. Dana Brooke isn't with a tag team. Lana isn't with a tag team. Zelina Vega isn't with a tag team. I can continue to name people. Nikki Cross, Candice LeRae, all these people, all these great wrestlers, and they're not with anyone. So you can put them into more crazier, high stakes matches to draw a number one contendership. I think that would be dope. I think that the Flying Pirates should be integrated in the women's tag team match because it's an awesome duo. I don't think that they should win, but I think that there should be more cross-brand representatives on the women's tag team titles. So if you're pulling women from NXT UK, NXT, and you know, you just incorporate everything going on, I think that makes that title that much more prestigious. If it's a floating and traveling belt, that brings more awareness to the brands and brings more awareness to great women tag team wrestling, or just more great women wrestling. So that's all I got for the Raw women's titles and the tag team titles. I don't know why I always associate in my mind the tag team titles with Raw, because I think it's because they were premiered there. But it seems like to me that Raw has the better women tag team wrestlers, if that makes sense. They got a couple little factions that can go out and do some things. What else we got on Raw? The men's tag teams belts. I say let Chad Gable and Bobby Roode drop the belts at some point in time. Let the Revival pick them up. That gives a chance for, I don't know, anybody to have a chance at those belts. So let's say if the Revival picks them up and you got the Revival holding those belts on to WrestleMania, I think we should have a nice series between the Revival and Hawkins and Ryder, and that should go on for the next 3 pay-per-views. Draw that shit the fuck out. Make them some crazy matches. Make them make one a ladder match. Make one a fucking steel cage match. Or just make one just a regular match. Make them just pretty long and drawn out. Make them so that the Revival's got to be heels and win these matches. And at the grandest stage of them all, Kurt Hawkins gets his first fucking win, and Zack Ryder gets his imminent return. Oh man, the feels and how crazy the internet would go if you have that happen at WrestleMania. All I'm thinking right now, it's WrestleMania season. What big moments can we have and put together? Last year, for Nicholas to win some fucking tag team belts, utterly ridiculous. What does that say for tag team wrestling in WWE? What does that say for tag team wrestling in general? So, nonetheless, of course, Brock Lesnar has to continue to retain his Universal Championship until WrestleMania. But I predict that he doesn't defend that shit until WrestleMania. So that's what, 2-3 months before we even get to see Brock do anything. With all that happening, I desperately need Brock to drop that title at WrestleMania. Seth has to win. He's the hottest dude right now. It would do wonders for putting everything over. You got a dude who's there week in and week out to come reign and pull on and bring this title all the way up. Let's talk Smackdown. The women's title. Who's going to feud with Asuka? I really hope that Charlotte doesn't weasel her way back in quickly to getting into that match with Asuka. But I hope by WrestleMania we get a rematch between Charlotte and Asuka, and that leads up to Asuka winning at the greatest show on earth, the grandest show of them all. And Asuka wins that. I think that'd be dope for her to retain it and get some redemption from last year. There are a slew of women she can have rivalries with leading up in there. You got Lana, who isn't doing anything. I don't know, Sonya Deville, who it seems that every time there's like some type of battle royale or whatever have you, she goes pretty toe-to-toe with Asuka. But nonetheless, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, more people, incorporate them and give them some time to battle with Asuka and have them take her to the limits. Let's talk the U.S. title. So R-Truth wins the U.S. title on SmackDown this week. It kind of leaves that title as a joke. It's funny because I was talking with my dude Maple Donut, shouts out, and he was saying that title has been viewed as a joke for a hot second. I suggested, I'm like, damn man, they should give that belt to AJ Styles and make it more prestigious. And he said they did that. I was like, fuck, dude. But I still feel that we can do more to make that title prestigious. It needs to be more prestigious. So I say that let R-Truth hold it on, and he has his quick feuds with Rusev and Nakamura, or incorporate those two, Rusev and Nakamura, into the tag team picture. But there's plenty of people that R-Truth can have feuds with leading up until Mania. I think at Mania, we should either have R-Truth versus Almas or Mufasa Ali, and he should drop the belt for either one of those young dudes to give him that catapult push. I think Daniel Bryan should hold on to that title until Mania, and we should do another switch and flop. Maybe he holds on to it for after Mania, but he should have his Mania match against Mufasa Ali. If Ali isn't in that U.S. title match, I think he needs to be put into the main event, and him and Daniel Bryan just put on an awesome show. Daniel Bryan can win and retain that, which seems pretty right because, you know, the young man might not be ready to hold that title, but he earned the position. And I think it would be good to have that big showing there. Yeah, and you know what, man? Let's stop having AJ in this Daniel Bryan feud. Let's have him interfere with this Good Brothers match. Let's put the club together. Let's move the Good Brothers from SmackDown and have them run over there on Raw with Finn and put the club together. Make them an actual faction. I think that would be good for all of those guys. There's really not a true destination for AJ at this point in time, so that would give him a chance to go run off and do some more. And the Good Brothers could pick up the tag team titles. AJ can feud with Seth for the Universal for a hot minute and just keep that going. I think making them heel would be, you know, just pretty good for everyone involved. Yeah. As far as the women tag team titles go, I thought about this. There's quite a few women's tag teams. You got the Boss Hug Connection. You got the Iconics. You got the Flying Pirates from NXT, and you got the Riot Squad, Sonya Deville and Mandy as well. So I think that's like 5, and I think there's going to be one more random team. If the Riot Squad does not win them tag team belts, we must riot. They have been putting on great matches throughout all of these pay-per-views, consistently there on Monday Night Raw, awesome on the microphone. There's not much more that you can say to sell the Riot Squad. But they need those women tag teams belts because they are a well-oiled machine. I don't even want to see the Iconics winning because, hell, when I see the Iconics work together, they're really good on the microphone. But what they bring to the ring, it just needs to be toned and fine-tuned a lot more. But nonetheless, that's pretty wavy. I'm happy about that. Yeah, I think the Riot Squad should pick up the belts at the Elimination Chamber and drop them to Bayley and Sasha at WrestleMania. So right now, as it stands, that's all my suggestions and predictions for this week. If you have any comments, leave them below. Follow a villain at Villain Starks everywhere, or Villain_Starks everywhere. I'm sorry, I was still thinking about wrestling. I ain't locking in, but Villain_Starks. And if you can't spell villain, then you probably don't need to follow me. That's real. But yeah, I think that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I have one last thing to say. Please, please, please remember, always remember to stay true and remember, keep killing shit. Peace.
Wolf Pact. Wolf Pact.
Try and build an island, tell me why you think we wildin'.